Bendy's Sermon, by Arthur Conan Doyle. Read for LibriVox.org by Martin Geeson, in Hazelmere, Surrey. Bendy's Sermon. Bendigo, the well-known Nottingham prize-fighter, became converted to religion, and preached at revival meetings throughout the country. You didn't know of Bendigo? Whoa, that knocks me out. Who's your board school teacher? What's he been about? Chock-a-block with fairy tales, full of useless cram, and never heard of Bendigo, the pride of Nottingham. Bendy's short for Bendigo. You should see him peel. Half of him was whalebone, half of him was steel. Fighting weight 1110, 5'9" in height. Allus ready to oblige if you want to fight. I could talk of Bendigo from here to kingdom come. I guess before I ended, you would wish your dad was dumb. I'd tell you how he fought Ben Corned, and how the deaf'n fell. But the game is done, and the men are gone, and maybe it's as well. Bendy, he turned Methodist. He said he felt a call. He stumped the country preaching, and you bet he filled the hall. If you seed him in the pulpit, a bleating like a lamb, you'd never know bold Bendigo, the pride of Nottingham. His hat was like a funeral. It got a waiter's coat, with a hallelujah collar and a choker round his throat. His pals would laugh and say in chaff that Bendigo was right in taking on the devil, since he'd no one else to fight. But he was very earnest, improving day by day, a-working and a-preaching, just as his duty lay. But the devil he was waiting, and in the final bout he hit him hard below his guard, and knocked poor Bendy out. Now I'll tell you how it happened. He was preaching down at Brum. He was built just like a circus. You should see the people come. The chapel it was crowded, and in the foremost row there was half a dozen bruisers who'd a grudge at Bendigo. There was Tommy Platt of Bradford, Solly Jones of Perry Bar, Long Connor from the Bullring, the same what drew with Carr, Jack Ball the fighting gunsmith, Joe Murphy from the Mews, and Ikey Moss the betting boss, the champion of the Jews. A very pretty handful sitting in a string, full of beer and impudence, ripe for anything, sitting in a string there, right under Bendy's nose. If his message was for sinners, he could make a start on those. Soon he heard 'em chaffing. "Hi, Bendy, here's a go! How much are you copping by this jump to glory show? Stow it, Bendy, left the ring. Mighty spry of you. Didn't everybody know the ring was leaving you?" Bendy fairly sweated as he stood above and prayed. "Look down, O Lord, and grip me with a strangle-hold," he said. "Fix me with a strangle-hold. Put a stop on me. I'm slipping, Lord, I'm slipping, and I'm clinging hard to thee." But the roughs they kept on chaffing, and the uproar it was such that the preacher in the pulpit might be talking double Dutch, till a working man he shouted out, a-jumping to his feet, "Gi' us a lead, your reverence, and heave 'em in the street." Then Bendy said, "Good Lord, since first I left my sinful ways, thou knowest that to thee alone I've given up me days. But now, dear Lord," and here he laid his Bible on the shelf, "I'll take, with your permission, just 5 minutes for myself." He vaulted from the pulpit like a tiger from a den, They say it was a lovely sight to see him floor his men, right and left and right, straight and true and hard, till the Ebenezer Chapel looked more like a knacker's yard. Platt was standing on his back and looking at his toes. Solly Jones of Perry Bar was feeling for his nose. Connor of the Bullring had all that he could do recking for his ivories that lay about the pew. Jack Ball, the fighting gunsmith, was in a peaceful sleep. Joe Murphy lay across him, all tied up in a heap. 5 of 'em was twisted in a tangle on the floor, and Ikey Moss, the betting boss, had sprinted for the door. 5 repentant fighting men, sitting in a row, listening to words of grace from Mr. Bendigo, listening to his reverence, all as good as gold, pretty little bar-lambs gathered to the fold. So that's the way that Bendy ran his mission in the slum, and preached the holy gospel to the fighting men of Brum. "The Lord," said he, "has given me his message from on high, and if you interrupt him, I will know the reason why." But to think of all your schooling clean wasted, thrown away, darned if I can make out what you are learning all the day. Grubbing up old fairy tales, filling up with cram, and didn't know of Bendigo, the pride of Nottingham. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.